Hey guys! In today's Art Journal Thursday episode, I will show you 4 fun and easy abstract painting techniques you can try out with acrylic paint. The first idea is very simple. You only need one main color and white acrylic paint. Here I'm going to use this really vibrant red colored acrylic paint. Start off with the colored paint first and distribute it to the top area of the paper. And then you can slowly add a little bit of white paint into the mixture to create simple strokes moving downwards using a round brush as the tool to create the pattern. So after a few rows or after as many rows as you like, mix in more and more paint to make the shade lighter and lighter. But you can really experiment and play around with it. You don't have to create this pattern super neatly and accurately. Now, since we work with acrylic paint, don't worry if you, for example, don't really feel a pattern yet. You can always paint over it. Here, for example, I blended the colors together while the paint was still wet to create a gradient effect, and then I immediately started over without letting it dry. So this way I had wet paint underneath, so the result will be different. So you can either wait for it to dry or see what else you can create. This is a great opportunity to train yourself to just let go and just to do the pattern for the process and to learn about what effects and patterns you can create. Here, for example, I felt like with this technique you can really create beautiful feather-like patterns without even really trying. The other idea is to use a flat brush and to experiment with different paint applications. Now here I also use only a limited palette. I have the same red and white paint, and later I will add a Naples yellow that is really soft looking yellow shade, and to make the red shade darker I use burnt umber. Now, a lot of times people try to blend acrylic paint or oil super smoothly, and that can look super amazing. But why not trying out a different way? I personally really love seeing the brush strokes of a painting because I feel like it makes the whole painting look so much more alive and interesting. Like you can almost see and feel the artist through those brush strokes. Does anyone feel the same way, or am I just weird? So here I applied the paint in a crisscross motion and just tried to create a contrast between the bright colors and the different shades of red from dark to light. And the yellow just added a hint of sun or warmth in general, making the painting mysterious looking. And as you can see, I went over areas a few times until I was happy with the composition of the different colors and the brush strokes. This way you not only learn and practice a different way how to apply paint, but you also learn a new way to capture light, shadows, and to create a certain mood and feeling. So you can decide what colors you want to use, maybe look into some interesting color schemes so you know what colors work great together, and then just have fun. Remember, you can always paint over, and the whole point here is to just relax, have fun, and to learn along the way. Another fun technique is using a palette knife and small dots of paint. Here I used a rather limited color palette as well. First, I added the paint to a few random areas and then moved the paint around with the palette knife. Now here it's easy to create muddy paint if you use too many colors at once, so I would recommend to start really simple to just get a feeling for that. You can also layer it and really experiment with the paint, scrape off some paint, move it somewhere else, move it around as if you would distribute glazing on a cake. Really just focus on experimenting and learning about what you can create through all the different techniques. It's easy to focus on the final result and being frustrated by the result because it's easy to think that if the result looks bad, you have failed. And I totally understand that, but that's totally not it. It's really about figuring out what doesn't work and what works the best. And without that, you can really improve anywhere in life pretty much. By the way, if you don't have a palette knife, you can also use an old ruler or an old plastic card, works just as fine. And since I had lots of paint on the paper, it started to become a little bit wavy, and this kind of worked to my advantage because this way the paper gave me a new way to use the texture to create an interesting pattern. The fourth idea was supposed to be a rainy city, but then I remembered I wanted to do something completely different, so I just covered it up with paint. But I do have a video about that, so you can check out it in the info box and watch it later if you want to learn more about it. So instead of the city, I decided to paint a sunset. In here I kept it really abstract as well. I used all sorts of colors, but I tried to not mix them too much. I used the same colors as in the beginning and just added a few additional blue and gray shades, but you can use any color you like, of course. The focus here is to just create a quick impression of a sunset. Focus on the shades of the sun and then create a darker contrast by applying dark colors around it here and there. I really love abstract art because it's such a great way to focus on just the shapes, the colors, the composition, the paint application, and how everything makes you feel when you look at it. It's not that easy to just create a perfect abstract painting because it does require planning and testing, but it's a great way to start exploring art in all its aspects from a different perspective. What painting and technique was your favorite? Comment down below and let me know. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you liked it. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Bye!